what is the first step for us to get Montgomery County out of the problem, which we are in terms of housing?
Yeah, so the first thing is sort of as I highlighted, which is liberalizing our zoning code to allow more multifamily housing, more multifamily types of housing in other parts of the county where it's currently not allowed. The second thing, really second and third thing is modernizing our building code. And, now we're really getting into sort of the weeds of the issue. But, we really need to modernize our building code. It used to be, believe it or not, that you could order a house out of a Sears catalog. For those of you that remember catalogs, right? You could order a prefab house and have it delivered and installed. They were mostly single story houses, and they were plopped down on a foundation. And prefab housing, the advantage that it has over housing that's constructed on site is that it's typically cheaper to mass produce and ship housing somewhere than it is to build it, to spec on site. So you really don't have a lot of that happening anymore. And some of these houses, believe it or not, still exist. They're not poor quality like some people might think they are. They're not trailer homes, if you will. They're quality built housing. And so we need to allow and incentivize and encourage more prefab housing. I read a piece recently that I think in Minneapolis, which is ahead of us in terms of liberalizing in the building code and zoning code, developers have been able to save 40% of the cost of construction just by building modular housing off-site. So 40%, those are real. I don't want to say savings, because the person who's purchasing that house they're not really saving, but it opens it up to more people along the income spectrum. So that's sort of the first thing is allowing more prefab housing. The second thing is, if you want to build a building in Montgomery County that is taller than 4 stories currently, you have to build it out of concrete and steel. And concrete and steel is incredibly expensive. Whereas a building that's 4 stories or shorter, you can build out of wood stick construction, wood frame construction. And so there are new products out there. Europe is really leading the way in this in terms of mass timber production. It's treated wood that is just as durable and is just as strong as steel, that would allow the building to be built above 4 stories. And again, would bring down the cost of that construction. So a lot of what I'm talking about is catching up to the times and catching up to new technologies, new products, new things that are on the market, to diversify, if you will, our housing supply. So I'd say that's the first thing. We're always going to have a shortage of truly affordable housing for our lowest income levels, because Montgomery County is an attractive and great place to live. And that's a matter of resources. That's a matter of adding money to the Housing Initiative Fund. That's a matter of financing projects through pilots, payments in lieu of taxes, or tax increment financing programs that make it easier to build projects. But the point is, it's both. You have to do both. You have to both add resources and you have to make it easier to build here in the county. So that's how I'd really tackle the issue of housing affordability and construction.